Welcome, people. Welcome to Thursday Night Football with Calvin Dean, sponsored by the NFL Network. We got some just news for you Thursday night, and it's one of those great nights, and last week, we learned a lot last week. We learned a lot. I mean, there was a lot of upsets, and we learned who is really hot, who's getting hotter, who's not giving up, that type of thing. And so I'm going to go over that tonight. And you got to listen. We got some great games that are going on. And just a reminder, we have 3 players on the San Francisco 49ers that are under the COVID injury reserve list. Deebo Samuels, do not start him. Brandon Ayuk, do not start him. Kendrick Bourne also tested positive for COVID-19. And it's, I'm telling you guys, it's for real. And just today, they had over 100,000 tested people who've been in COVID, have COVID. It's devastating. I can't even talk about it. I feel so sorry for this country. We really need people to go out there and practice safely so the spread, put on a mask, stay away from crowds. You just have to, or we're going to have to shut down again. So it's either or. Pick your poison, Next, I'll tell you, Jordan Reed is coming off the IR, and he will be active for this game against the Packers. So hats off to Jordan Reed. I mean, the guy is a walking hospital. I mean, I've never heard this guy ever. I don't think he's ever had a season without being injured. Another info on this whole COVID stuff, the Detroit Lions, Matthew Stafford tested positive for COVID, and this is pretty key because they're playing the Vikings, and the Vikings are hot, and without Matthew Stafford, they do not have a chance at all. So that's he might have a chance to play, they're saying. I have no idea how they can even say something like that. But, I guess Stafford's wife, Kelly, said that on Instagram that Stafford came into contact with someone who tested positive for COVID. So I guess he is testing negative, but, he did have contact. So there's a 3-day waiting period for Mr. Stafford. I do not know anything more about this, but it's definitely for real. That's for sure, people. Definitely for real. Got to stay safe out there. Avoid parties. It's going to be bad if we don't wear masks, social distance. It's going to be really bad this winter. It's going to be terrible. So let's all stand up. We have all voted. Now we're still waiting on the results. It's close, I guess. And stock market's going higher. I think it's going higher because there might be a Biden victory, and they know that Biden would actually come up with a great relief package for Americans because of COVID. And we'll see. Not going to go into politics. Let's go to the Thursday night football game, which is going to be so much fun to watch tonight. We have the Packers 5-2 going into San Francisco at 4-4. Wow. I mean, this is going to be a good game. Now, mind you, we have everybody and their brother out from San Francisco. Jimmy G, Mozart. I mean, I just don't. They're so hurt. The San Francisco 49ers, there's not one major player that, starter that's not going to be on the field. Kittle's not going to be on the field. Garoppolo's not going to be on the field. Mozart's not going to be on the field. I could go on and on. Nuke. I mean, this team is devastated right now with injuries and COVID. And I just don't see the 49ers pulling this one out. I know their defense is their defense, but on the other hand, there's no Bosa. So, guys, I'm sorry to tell you this, but San Francisco will be losing tonight's game. Packers in this one. Packers will end up 6-2 after tonight's game. So if you have Rodgers, start him. I have Rodgers on my one team, and I also have Hebert. And so I mean, it's really tough because Hebert's been lighting it up. And the Packers. Devontae Adams is back, but then their running back situation is questionable. So Mr. Jones is not going to be going tonight, or Williams. So I mean, they're going to have to rely on a third string running back and a running back that's coming off the practice field as well. So it's going to be an interesting game. Packers, I think they have the advantage with Rodgers and Devontae Adams. Now, if San Francisco can take Devontae Adams out of the picture, then they might have a chance. Now, and another thing is the Packers their offensive line hasn't been the same, and without Jones back in the backfield, I mean, that's just like having Minnesota without Cook, and Mr. Jones, he's the number one running back in the NFL, and he's on the sideline. It will be a good game. I'm still giving this to the Packers. Sorry, everyone who, all those San Francisco 49er fans. I don't have a team. I don't have a favorite team. That's why I love picking games. I've been doing this since I was a kid. It's been fun. It's been fun. Okay, let's go to Sunday night. Sunday games. We have the Giants, 1-7, going into the Washington football team in Washington, D.C. The Giants looked really good this last time against Tampa. They really played them tough. And they're playing better. I don't see the Washington football team winning in this one. I see the New York Football Giants beating up on the home team, Washington football team. It's going to be a good game. Next game, oh wow, this is a great game. And the Titans, they haven't been looking like the Titans of old. Something's wrong there. And Chicago's going into Tennessee, and Chicago's offense is just stagnant, man. I mean, they did look good this last time. I do admit, Foles really lit it up. And, they're starting to roll. But, it's such a hit or miss with Chicago's offense. One night they look like world beaters, and then you eat your words, how you talk about them. And then on the other hand, you have the Titans, who haven't been playing their A game as of late. It's going to be in Tennessee. I just don't see the Bears really winning this game. But the way the Tennessee Titans have been playing, and the Bears' defense, and the way the Titans have been playing, I'm going to give this to the Chicago Bears. Chicago Bears over the Tennessee Titans in this game. And, take that to the house, that's for sure. The next game, we have the Lions, Detroit Lions. Maybe Matthew Staffordless. Maybe. So we'll see. And then we have the Vikings, who are 2-5. They looked like world beaters last week against Green Bay. I mean, Dalvin Cook is back. If Matthew Stafford's not starting this game, the Lions have a really hard time to win. They are indoors in Minnesota. the Lions are used to being indoors. So both teams are pretty good at that. And plus, both teams aren't having any fans in their stadium. And so, the home field advantage on this one is gone. And I mean, this is a tough game. 3-4 Lions, 2-5 Vikings. The Vikings look like world beaters last week with Cook. I think the Vikings are going to start rolling in this one. The Vikings in this one, and sorry, Detroit Lions fans, but this one you're going to take it on the chin. No Galladay, no Matthew Stafford, and you consider that a loss for the Lions. The next game, the Panthers going into Kansas City. Wow. They're going to have Mr. McCaffrey back. And Davis. And they have so many weapons. And I think Teddy Bridgewater will strike back this game. The Chiefs, this is your upset special of the week. Upset special of the week. The Carolina Panthers will beat the Kansas City Chiefs. That is my upset special of the week. Hear me out. The Panthers over the Kansas City Chiefs. People are going to call me crazy, but I just have a strange feeling. McCaffrey back and Teddy Bridgewater on fire. I mean, and that whole team, I think they probably could just bring the ball down, methodically. And with McCaffrey back, I mean, come on. I mean, you got to give it to the Carolina Panthers. You don't have to, mind you. I mean, every single person picking this game will be picking the Kansas City Chiefs. But I have a knack for upsets. I have called the last 4 weeks in a row upsets. 4 weeks in a row. So this is my upset this week. Hopefully make it 5 out of 5. So we have the next game. Mind you, we have the Texans going into Jags. The Texans, 1-6. The Jags, 1-6 without Minshew. Right then and there, their chance to win this game is diminished. I'm going to give this to the Texans. Mr. Watson's going to go in there and just light it up. If you have Mr. Watson, play him. He's going to light it up in this game. David Johnson's going to have a huge game in this one. Huge. If you have David Johnson in your fantasy football, play him in this game. He is going to have a monstrosity game. Huge. Okay, Texans over the Jags. And then we have another 10 a.m. game. The Baltimore Ravens limping into the Colts Stadium, Indianapolis, and the way the Ravens have been playing, I don't know what's going on. I think they just haven't, like last week, what's going on with the play calling, I mean, drop back, you're near the goal line, and you're just trying to run it with Lamar, and it's just, they're just stuffing them. Run some razzle dazzle. Yep, guys going off, and then send him instead of just having a sweep right or a sweep left, thinking that Lamar's going to do something, especially with the Pittsburgh Steelers defense. That loss is definitely to the coaches in that one last week, and then Lamar as well. But the big loss was to the Baltimore Ravens coaches. They really lost that game last week. It was pathetic coaching, pathetic. This week, the Colts when you go, oh, you know what, Detroit's going to beat them, and then they come out and they're just amazing. Phillip Rivers on fire. On fire. And Hines, how about the triple axle, double whammy, loop-de-loop jump he made on 2 touchdowns that he had, a stick in the landing. That guy is he's like a gymnast, playing in the National Football League. Anyway, that was too intense. It's going to be a good game. I think it'll be a hard fought game. The Colts defense is for real. Their offense came alive. The Ravens, really should win this game. In all reality, the Colts, I can't. I'm going to give this one to the Baltimore. I'm giving this to the Baltimore Ravens. The Baltimore Ravens are going to beat the Indianapolis Colts in Indianapolis. What's a good thing about this is it's going to be indoors, and Lamar Jackson won't have any wind or anything like that. His passes won't, fly. I think the Baltimore Ravens in this one, it's going to be a very, very close game, guys. Baltimore Ravens in this one. The next game, we have the Seattle Seahawks, 6-1, going into the Buffalo Bills, 6-2. Wow. Now this game is going to be a barn burner. Seattle is just, the only game they lost was to the Arizona Cardinals, and that was in overtime. Man, did the Cardinals play out of their mind on that one? That was my upset special of the week. That one. So now this one, the way the Bills have been playing, it's just ugly football. They found a way to win against New England last week. I called the Buffalo Bills to beat New England, and but the Seattle Seahawks are no New England. Their offense is not as stagnant as New England, and I just don't see the Bills beating the Seahawks in this one. I know it's in Orchard Park. You could have some weather issues in this one. It could, and I just don't see it happening. I love you, Buffalo Bill football fans. I'm from that area in upstate New York. My family came in from Canada, but that's where we originated from. But I'm telling you, this is going to be a tough game. I have so many good friends that love Buffalo, but I am so sorry to tell you that Buffalo Bills will lose this game, and the Seahawks will end up 7-1. We have the Broncos going into the Falcons. The Falcons are just, who's going to show up? That's the whole thing. What team's going to show up? Now, the Broncos' defense is pretty exciting, and that offense, the way they came back this last week with Drew Lock, and then they have a couple horses that they're going to be Melvin Gordon and Philip Lindsay in the backfield. And Drew Lock, he's got that new confidence, just coming off a great game. I'm giving the Broncos this one. Broncos will end up 4-4 at the end of this game. They're going into Atlanta, by the way. The next game is the first 1 o'clock game, 1:05 Pacific Standard Time. And that's the Raiders going into Los Angeles. The 2-5 Los Angeles Chargers going against the 4-3 Las Vegas Raiders, who I predicted to win last week. Now, mind you, the Raiders, they beat Kansas City. And they're that good. They have that much good talent. This is going to be a slugfest, high-scoring game. You got Herbert, who's going to be throwing it all over the field. You have Carr doing the same thing with Henry Ruggs III. This is going to be a fun game to watch. High-scoring game, high-scoring game. I'm giving the Las Vegas Raiders the win against the Los Angeles Chargers. But if you have people on both sides, players, either on the Chargers or the Raiders, play them. This is going to be a high-scoring game, guys. The next game, wow. The Steelers going into Cowboy Stadium. Now, I guess the Cowboys are not going to be starting Not going to be starting to Nucci. Mr. DiNucci will not be starting this game. They're benching him. Wow. And, that's just, man, what's going on with the Dallas Cowboys? That's all I guess they want a veteran in there, someone who's played. And, their best bet, the best bet is, wow. They need to get someone in. They really do. They need to go out, and I don't know who's running the ship. I just don't. Who is running the ship? That's what I want to know. Who is, in the Dallas Cowboys front office? I just would like to know. Why haven't they tried to get a quarterback? They're going to start Garrett Gilbert. Wow. Come on, man. Garrett Antonio Gilbert. And he played college football at Texas and SMU, and was selected by the St. Louis Rams in the 6th round in 2014. So he's been in the organization, been in the football, NFL for 6 years now. He's 29 years old. He's did play in 2019, and then he played in 2018. Completed 66% of his passes. He had 40 yards. He had one pass? I don't know. His passing completion is like 33%. He's passed for only 40 yards his entire career in the NFL, guys. And he's going to be starting. And I don't know. I don't know what's going on with the Dallas Cowboys front office. Think about it. Okay, this is an easy one. Dallas Cowboys will lose. They'll be 2-7 at the end of this game, and the Steelers will remain undefeated. The next game, let me tell you, the Dolphins looking great, 4-3, going into the Cardinals 5-2. The Cardinals had a bye week last week, so they're all rested. Now, mind you, they had that big game against Seattle, and they won. So they probably were hurting after that game. They played their hearts out. So that week rest is definitely beneficial for the Arizona Cardinals. Kyler Murray, he is just, wow. It's going to be Kyler Murray against Tua. That's going to be exciting to watch those two. Those guys are just phenoms. Tua is going to be a phenom in the NFL, and say it's Kyler. Their styles are very similar. But on the other hand, the Dolphins are, getting out of the humidity of Miami, and they're going into the dry heat of the Arizona Cardinals. Now, that's a big difference. Now, if the Cardinals lose the other way around, I would say probably Miami might have a chance to win this game. But traveling out there, no. The Cardinals' defense is just like lights out lately. They are just so good. I am going to give this one to the Arizona Cardinals at home against the Miami Dolphins. Wow. We have Sunday night football. Sunday night football, people, and it's going to be legendary. We have the New Orleans Saints with Drew Brees against Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Wow, what a game. And the Bucs just barely beating the Giants last week. I called the game, but I guess they were favored by 12 points. They didn't even make the spread. I'll tell you, the Giants really played well. Hats off to the Giants. They really played well that game. And Jones Daniel Jones, it's all about him. I know he lost a game, but the thing of it is, he brought the team to be able to lose that game. He brought them to that point. That's what you all have to know. So we have the Saints, Drew Brees against the GOAT in Tampa Bay. This is going to be a good one. If the Saints have Thomas, if he's back, if he's playing, it's a game time decision. If he is playing, he hasn't played in since week 1. So, it's been almost 2 months since he put on the uniform and played. That's a long time. And so he's going to have some rust. And plus, he's hurt. So, he has the high ankle sprain, and then he has the hamstring. He's not going to be at 100%, and he's not that fast he has a precision route runner, and he's really good at that, don't get me wrong. But he has to be 100%, and he's not going to be 100% in this game. And plus, Antonio Brown, guys. Godwin's going to be back. Evans, Gronk, Antonio Brown, Jones, Fournette, Cameron Brate. Goes on and on and on and on with this team. They should have really turned it on against the Giants, but the Giants played good defense. It didn't look like the Bucs were excited. I didn't see them having fun playing that game. Something was up. But I'm telling you, this game, they're going to have a lot of fun because the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to beat the New Orleans Saints. Yes, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will beat the New Orleans Saints on Sunday Night Football. It's going to be in Tampa. Okay, guys, here's the game. Monday Night Football. The 2-5 Patriots. Just limping, heads down into the New York Jets. MetLife Stadium. The 0-8 Jets. Wow, I'm telling you, 0-8. This is just a sad game right here. This is going to be a sad game. You thought the Jets were going to, they had a few good plays against the Kansas City Chiefs. Maybe they'll beat the spread. But man, Kansas City just, lights it up. But guess what? New England Patriots, they're no Kansas City Chiefs. Not even close. And their offense, that's why Tom Brady left. Because, New England Patriots, they didn't want to go out and get any players to, put them around Tom Brady. So he left. Bravo, Tom. Great move. This is a tough one. Really, isn't that weird? An 0-8 team, the Jets, New York Jets, right? And then, the Patriots are going into New York. And I'm saying this is a toss-up. And they're saying this is an 0-8 team. And I'm thinking, there could have been, I remember the time when, New England would go into a stadium that team was 0-8 or 0 whatever, and you go, oh, come on. New England, boom, next. But the way they've been playing, and they just don't have the players around Cam. Cam tries to do it all himself. Lost the ball against Buffalo. Sad. It's sad, but he's trying, and he has a team that has no players around him. He's the team. Cam Newton is the team. Sad, but it's true. Could this be the first game that the Jets win? Wouldn't that be amazing? The Jets over the New England Patriots? 0-8 Jets to beat the Patriots? I would be crazy, nuts, out of my mind calling that game. Wouldn't I? Well, guess what? Oh, yeah. There's going to be an upset. This is the double upset weekend. This is going to be a double upset weekend. I am picking, oh my God, guys, this is a huge game. Huge. This is a mega upset pick. I'm going to pick the New York Jets to win their first football game on Monday Night Football. The New York Jets will beat the New England Patriots. Wow. All right, guys. So, I gave it to the Bucks over the Saints. I'm giving it to the Cardinals over the Miami Dolphins. I'm taking the Steelers over the Boys. I am taking the Las Vegas Raiders over the Chargers. I am giving the Broncos over the Falcons, the Seattle Seahawks over the Buffalo Bills. The Indianapolis Colts are going to lose to the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens will beat the Colts. The Texans over the Jags. And my other upset special, the Carolina Panthers will beat the Kansas City Chiefs. Yes, the Carolina Panthers will beat the Kansas City Chiefs. We have the Minnesota Vikings over the Lions. We have the Chicago Bears beating the Titans, the Tennessee Titans. If they weren't playing so terrible, I would be all over the Titans on this one, but they aren't playing that good football. And then have the New York Football Giants almost beating the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Well, they're going to go into the Washington area, and they're going to beat up on the Washington football team in this one. And then tonight's game, the Green Bay Packers over the San Francisco 49ers. Davante Adams, huge game. I'm telling you, and even Mr. Rogers is going to have a good game. They're going to have vindication from last year, the Packers, in this one. It's going to be pretty big, too. It's going to be a pretty big score. They're going to run it up. Okay, people, thank you so much for tuning in to Thursday Night Football with Calvin Dean and the Calvin Dean Show. Have a good one.